Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Kol Layam La, Adonai Yahweh, Bashem Shamalak Yahweh, Bashem Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, peace and station on full like Shalom. And on me title of this video, McDonald's worker shot over cold fries. So as you can see right here, this is the article that was posted on August 5th, 2022 at 8 a.m. It says the Brooklyn McDonald's worker who was shot in the neck in a spat over cold fries has died, cops announced Friday. Matthew Webb, 23, succumbed to his injuries after he was shot Monday outside the Bedford-Stuyvesant fast food restaurant where he worked, the NYPD said. The attack has been deemed a homicide, the force said early Friday, stressing that the investigation remains ongoing. Michael Morgan, 20, has already been charged with attempted murder and criminal possession of a loaded firearm for blasting Webb in anger at his mom getting served cold fries. He is expected to face upgraded homicide charges, prosecutors told a court hearing Thursday, even before Webb's death was confirmed. Webb was toiling at the Fulton Street Eatery on Monday evening when Morgan's mom, Lisa Fulmore, complained to workers that her fries were cold and asked to speak to a manager. Stupid ass. When the workers began laughing at her, Fulmore was FaceTiming with Morgan, who came to the restaurant and got into a fight with Webb that spilled out onto the sidewalk. Morgan punched Webb in the face, and when he got back up, he pulled out a gun and blasted him in the neck, prosecutors alleged. McDonald's worker Matthew Webb was 23 years old. McDonald's worker Matthew Webb seen on an Instagram post. It says, Matthew Webb, 23, died after being shot outside the Brooklyn fast food joint Monday. McDonald's worker Matthew Webb was fatally shot in the neck. They said McDonald's worker Matthew Webb was brain dead and on life support before authorities declared he was dead. His mom later told the police that her son told her he gotta do what he gotta do. Wow. The suspect's girlfriend, Camelia Dunlap, has also been charged with weapons possession for allegedly handing Morgan the gun. She was arraigned later on Wednesday and held on $50,000 cash bail after prosecutors said she admitted to possessing the gun. Morgan was also charged with an earlier murder after allegedly confessing during questioning about the McDonald's shooting. McDonald's worker Matthew Webb shows off a small bag on social media. Says alleged shooter Michael Morgan was charged after shooting and killing McDonald's worker Matthew Webb. Michael Morgan, 20, is expected to be hit with upgraded murder charges. He allegedly killed Kevin Holloman on October 21st. So it seems like this wasn't the first killing that he's done. And with that, I'll bring out some scriptures, Lord willing, you hopefully will be edified. And it says Ecclesiastes chapter 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Exactly. And that right there, over some fucking cold fries, just because your mom got served cold fries, like, yo, you are a real fucking demon for that. And you literally had evil spirits on you to do some sort of wicked shit like that just because you got served cold fries. You could have just basically returned back whatever that was given to you and just went to another, restaurant chain. That goes to show you that the fast food that these niggas be eating, that GMO food also pretty much puts a low negative vibration on people in general, for them to pretty much act out like that, and that's pretty much the reason why it's not good to be eating that fast food any damn way, 'cause that fast food really is just pretty much toxic to your, not only your physical health, but your mental health as well. And the same thing like when it's coming to those Popeyes fried chicken sandwich. You know, people going crazy over that. People killing each other over some fucking chicken sandwich, fighting each other on the drive-through, fighting inside the fast food restaurants over certain food items. It's ridiculous, man. You know. But I'll bring out more precepts. And Job 14 verse 1, it says, "Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not." And verse 5, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, that thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." Exactly. And that's the reason why a lot of these these niggas end up dying at such a young age, and they end up getting locked up and shit, you know. It's because pretty much they're raised in single mother homes, and for that nigga to do something like that over just some cold fries, like, man, you are really effeminate faggot in the spirit, man. Because that was really uncalled for and unnecessary, just for you to take out some anger over some cold fries and that your mom got. And then the mother claimed that he had to do what he had to do, showing you that she's a wicked ass bitch, and that this is the reason why they need a man to pretty much rule the household. And scriptures mention that how a father's supposed to raise a child in a way he should not depart from, to raise them up in a good way, mainly in his truth. But this is what being raised by a single mother, this is the shit that happens, Your kid ends up killing somebody over some small shit, I bet you if it was a white man that served him cold fries, or another heathen nation such as like a so-called Chinese or East Indian or so, they wouldn't do something like this. But yet when they see a Jake probably made a mistake on the job or whatever, they want to take all their frustration out on a Jake or so, on the nation of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. That's what our people be pretty much doing, is fighting against each other and doing some stupid shit like this, killing each other. But when it's coming to another nation of people, you want to do that to them, right? And Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 9 says, "For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." Exactly. And that curse pretty much ties up with, Deuteronomy 28. How scriptures say, "The tender and delicate woman among you, like her eyes shall be evil towards her husband and towards the children of her bosom." It mentions, and pretty much like the curse of Deuteronomy 28 also mentions that how when it's coming to our people, like, dealing with the men, that how their eyes shall be evil towards their brothers, like towards their own siblings, towards their own people. That's pretty much like one of the curses, man. And when it's coming to basically being raised by a single mother, that's the reason why these niggas are so effeminate. That's the reason why they are quick to basically doing stupid shit like this. They will end up doing some crazy shit to go to jail for God knows how long. Only the Most High knows how long they gonna end up in jail just for the shit that they do. And these niggas don't give a fuck. It says in Deuteronomy 28 verse 54, it says, "So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom, and shall toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave." Right. And the main point out of this is that how the man, how his eyes evil towards his own brother. So that's the reason why you see a lot of jigs out there committing crime on each other. They over here shooting each other in their own hood. They over here basically part of these different gangs that's actually putting evil on each other. And it really shows you right there that basically a lot of these niggas, man, they They're just sick. This is the reason why, you know, 2/3 they can't really be healed, because for the most part they're not gonna accept this truth. They're gonna reject it. So that's the reason why the best thing for them is just a horrible death. And basically what happened to that guy when he got shot and he ended up being brain dead and on life support, and then he ended up dying, you know, I feel like that was a better thing for him to do, is to die instead of having to live on life support, because you're not really living life, you know. That's like you're just living in vain, because you're not even enjoying life at that point. So it would be better off to be dead, because scriptures also mention that a bitter life is worse than, you know, that death is pretty much better than a bitter life, and how bitter life and continual sickness is worse than death, you know. So, and this scripture really compares, you know, our woman to like the ostriches of the wilderness, because verse 17 mainly mentions a point that I want to bring out of this lesson, is that because Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. That's the reason why these women raise their children in vain, and they pretty much raise their children without fearing the Heavenly Father. And they pretty much, like, they don't care what type of wickedness they do. They're not realizing that the Most High is pretty much watching them and every move they do, you know. But pretty much it's the curses. So that's the reason why women are like that, the way they are. And for that woman to go as far as to saying that her son had to do what he had to do, really just shows you that, you know, just to back up your son and the wickedness that he just did, really shows you that that mother is a nigger woman, you know. The scriptures also in the book of Lamentations also compares our women to, like, you know, ostriches, showing that how wicked and cruel they are. You know, they don't raise their children the right way, and they don't care about raising their children the right way anyway, you know. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 12 says, but these, as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. So the Lord is comparing his own people to brute beasts, you know. He's saying that, well, he's pretty much not comparing, he's just saying that they are brute beasts, you know, using it as pretty much like a metaphor to just mention about how sick our people are and how destroyed they became. Going to the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, saying that how our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, you know. And these are the same niggas that when they hear this truth, they will scoff against it, they'll speak evil against it, because they don't understand it. That's the reason why they have to be destroyed. Verse 13 says, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. So yeah, and basically the only judgment that has to happen to these niggas is honestly just they need to freaking die in you know, pretty much of thermonuclear fire, and that's the lake of fire that they're gonna receive. And pretty much in the book of Revelations, as it mentions, and that's the judgment that's gonna take place on this earth, mainly in America. And that's what's gonna happen to them for being disobedient and for being pretty much you know, wicked as a 2/3. So yeah, with that, hope I made it lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shalom, Laki, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, peace, citation, hope for elect, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shabbat, Shalak, Rayam, Adawam, Yam, Wako, Wayam, Wa, Ababa, Shalom.